the mic going back and forth. So hopefully you can hear me all right this time. Welcome to sunny Florida. We're doing the Mega Demo live. Of course, that's the fun things about Mega Demo. And it is slow cooking. So have a look. I'm going to do maybe, we'll see how many times. Well, it's slow cooking, but on fast, all right? So I'm going to do as many recipes as I can get through. I'm going to show you some, I'm going to explain them, and they will be all posted in the back office later today. So very, very exciting. Some specials for you, some joining specials. Those of you who are considering looking at your inspiration at home to join this fabulous business, both in all of our 7 countries globally. We have some specials that will be there available till the end of Sunday, Brisbane time at 10 p.m. We also have some host specials. Those of you who are hosting live mega demos, we welcome you. And we also have some guest specials, and I'll go through those a little bit later. So if you're not sure who I am, I'm Colleen Walters, the founder, spice curator, and CEO of Your Inspiration at Home. And I'm going to preface it, I'm not a cook. I love to eat great food, but I am not the master chef in the group. I know a lot of you are going to be going, how is she doing this? Why is she doing this? Because I love great flavor. I love flavors from around the world. And I'm just not the very best cook in the world. So I love slow cookers. Any of you busy out there? Certainly if you're following my travels around the world, you know how busy I am. So this is one of my favorite ways to cook. So have a look at all the different slow cookers we have here. These are great for, you know, if you're doing entertaining, you can do the 3. I'm using this one for sometimes desserts, this one for more appetizers or small meals, and of course these ones for the ones that I'm going to put in the freezer. Or I want multiple, I have lots of guests, or I want to have leftovers. So I think we have, I think it's 11 or 12 slow cookers going here as well, all different brands. So first thing, whenever you're cooking, you need a drink, right? Australia? Okay. Come on over here. Who knew you could do slow cooking for drinks? So what I've got here is a mulled, caramelized mulled apple cider. So beautiful, pure apple cider. It also has orange juice as well. Let me just find my glass. I caramelized a little bit of sugar with some. I've just thrown in the mulling spice, not in a tea bag. All right, so you can strain it. I don't have time. It's TV, live TV, so I don't have time to strain it right now. But I do have time to drink it, and this is gorgeous. So what this is a mulled but caramelized type with butter and sugar. I caramelized it on the pan. I'll give you the recipe, but it's vanilla sugar, a little bit of water, and butter. And just caramelize that, mix it in with the hot cider and the mulled mulling spice, and a little bit of orange juice as well. So there you go. Amazing. But you know what? I think it needs something else. I'm going to share that in a minute. So over here, what I've done, and this is gorgeous. It's a tea. So I've used our Hawaiian hibiscus tea in, you can see it here, in a tea sack. And of course you can use a tea bowl, or you can leave it out. I prefer in this one to put it into some type of container, tea bowl or tea sack. So I've just been letting that sit for about 2 hours. Some lemon, bag of mixed berries, frozen mixed berries, and some lemonade. Now those of you from Australia, that means freshly squeezed lemon juice with some sugar in there. And that's how you make this wonderful hot berry drink. For those of you or on the Eastern Seaboard, I'm sure you're looking for something this right now. All right, let's go back over. Those recipes will be out later, but great way to serve a hot mulled or tea for the holidays. Come on over here. Let's get going here. Oh, right. The missing ingredients? Well, you can make this into a hot toddy with a little splash of a wonderful dark spiced rum. All right, now I'm set. Cheers, mates in Australia. All right. Now the first actual recipe I'm going to do is going to start with some appetizers. I'm going to show you the finished product over here. And what this is it's a salsa cheesecake. Isn't that gorgeous? So you just simply slice it off and add it to your chip, and you eat it like that. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I've just topped it with a little bit of salsa as well. So come on over here, I'll show you how to make it. Now this is done in the slow cooker, if you can believe it. So what you do is you take your salsa. Now I've just made your Inspiration at Home salsa with fresh diced tomatoes, or tomatoes in Australia, and a couple of tablespoons of our salsa, or teaspoons of our salsa mix. So this is roughly a half a cup of salsa, and I'm just going to put this in. All right. Now you can pre-blend it if you like, but because I only want to do the blending once, because it's going to be very noisy, I'm just going to chuck it all in. And I'm going to add a little bit of flour. So about a teaspoon of flour. Where's my, I'll get a clean one. Sorry, a tablespoon of flour, which I have right here. And what you want to do is you also want to whip up some egg. You want it to be nice and light. So 1 egg and 1 egg white. Showing my skills on TV as we go here. Oops, there we go. Like I said, disaster chef. All right. Now just whip that up. I made these earlier today because what they do need to do is set a little bit in the fridge after they've cooked. Okay, just whip that in there. Now, I am going to pour it all in, but normally what you would do is you would cream the cheese to get it, the cream cheese. You've got 2 blocks of cream cheese. You've got your, oh, we need to plug that in. You've got your salsa prepared earlier. There we go. Now you're just going to whip that up. There we go. Oh, fine everyone. Okay. Now I'm just going to pretend that I finished that. And then what you do is, you can do this beforehand if you want to prepare your pan earlier. So what I've got is a mini springform pan. This recipe does 1 7-inch springform pan. So I'm using coconut oil to spray it. Just a light spray there. Some breadcrumbs. Just to give it a little bit of a base. You can also, what I did in mine today is I also put in the fajita mix right in that, with the cream cheese as well. So fajita and salsa in the cream cheese mix. Then I would spoon my cream cheese in here. That's, oh no, sorry, I'm going to put some, I'm going to also add, once I've mixed it all in nicely, I'm going to add some blended, and they call it Mexican cheese here in the U.S. So it's a unique blend here. I'm not sure that you can find the same cheeses in Australia, but certainly a cheddar cheese would go lovely in there. So you toss that in, you spoon it, you mix it together just by spoon, and then you would put it in your springform pan. So happen to have one that I prepared a little earlier. In the bottom of the springform pan, you want to put some tin foil at the bottom, some alfoil in Australia. because what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the slow cooker. I know, pretty cool. So we'll come over here. So here's the slow cooker. Now what I've done is I put a ramekin at the bottom of the slow cooker. I'm going to fill the slow cooker with some hot water, not fill, but up to the bottom of the ramekin, because really what we're doing is we're steam cooking this. All right, so hot water goes there. Set this on top, just like that. Pop this here, and we're going to turn it, I believe it is to low, no, I'm going to guess high for 1 hour and 3/4. I will just double check the recipe, but I believe it's 1 hour and 3/4. Going to set it on high. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to take it out at that, or take the lid off at that point, run a knife around, it looks like a souffle. It's really cool. It comes out, it's going to sink, don't worry. When you take the lid off, it just goes whoosh down. But I'm going to run a bread knife around there just to loosen the sides up, cover it with tin foil, and pop it in the fridge to set. First you need to let it cool down. So you're going to leave this open for 30 minutes or so to settle down. Put it on a rack to cool. When it's cool to touch, wrap it in tin foil, put it in the fridge, let it set for 2 to 3 hours is all I did with that. And that's how it looks when it's finished. Okay, here's one I prepared a little earlier. So all different stages of this one. So I'm just running it across there, taking that off, popping this out. Now you can put it, with these I find they come off really nicely, so I don't need to leave the tin on the plate. I know every time I slice them. And that's it. Isn't that great? A new way to serve our salsa in a fantastic savory cheesecake. All right. So how about the first special? Ready for the first special? Let me find my notes. Okay. The first mega special is the Creole. We're going to use that one a little bit later in jambalaya. The Indonesian rendang. I made an incredible beef Indonesian rendang. And the capsicum pesto. And those are all at 25% off in a pack. So you get the Creole, the Indo rendang, which is I better say this for those people who are not familiar with our company. Let's go backwards. Louisiana Creole dip mix, Indonesian rendang spice blend, and the capsicum pesto dip mix, which I'm going to use all three of these a little bit later. Now these are all 25% off, and as hostesses or hosts today, you get a further 50% off the already marked down price for the pack. They are available online right now, and they're available until 10 p.m. Brisbane time on Sunday. So you have till the end of Sunday to close off those shows. The second pack, I'll go through a little bit later. I'm not going to reveal all the surprises at once. Okay, yum. I think it's time for another of my caramelized mulling spice. All right, let's clean up some of this mess so I have room for the next one. Okay, then we're going to go on to soups. It'll take a little while to do, and that soup is basically a Mexican style bean soup. All right, YIAH style. Now what I've done is I've also, if you come on over here, so I've done the soup. What I did was I took the beans. Isn't this lovely? So this is it for Christmas. So I've taken heritage beans, but I'll give you the recipe for about 3 or 4 different types of beans. You can layer them in there, look nice. Some sun-dried tomatoes, not in oil. You can see them in there. And then what I've done is I've mixed fajita, guacamole, and country onion together, and that is the soup spice. I've also tucked in a couple of bouillon. You could either use bouillon cubes. I've used a couple of bouillon, chicken bouillon sachets. liquid, and they're sealed in there, and a great gift. Now what you would do is obviously write the recipe down on the back of the card. So to make a bean soup, of course you need to let the beans soak, so put them in the pot. I'll give you the recipe as well. For about 10 minutes, you want to bring them to a boil, and then I just let them sit overnight. That was the easiest thing for me. Let them sit overnight. They need to be rinsed before you let them sit overnight. So you want to just get all the gases off. Then you can add whatever vegetables you want. If you can find dry vegetables, you can put the dry vegetables in here as well, which would be great for a soup base to have that already ready. If not, I've just used celery and kernel corn and some carrots in there. So really quick and easy as far as prep time. And then it is about 6 hours to 8 hours on a low temperature using a 4 to 5 quart crock pot. All right, now you can serve it with obviously wraps, you can serve it with bread, and it freezes really well. All right. Okay. Now those two go great together. You can see the salsa cheesecake and the Mexican bean soup. Now the other soup I have is partially ready. Okay, it's not fully ready because I want to show you the rest of the preparation. So this one is chicken mulligatawny soup. Now chicken mulligatawny is for those of you, I think our American friends enjoy this one as well. The history is from really a lot of British and Commonwealth countries is the history for mulligatawny. It's actually not a true Indian soup. It's a variation of what they would call pepper broth, or like a pepper broth is the literal translation in India. So when the Australians, the British, the Canadians were overseas in India, this became one of the favorite soups. So chopped celery, carrots, onions, and a Granny Smith apple. That is one of the things that makes this soup unique. It must have the Granny Smith apple. You use chicken. So all I've done is, let me give you the recipe here, a cup of celery, all chopped fine, a cup of carrots, three-quarter cup, basically 1 Granny Smith if it's a big one, apple chopped fine, and 6 cups of, I've used organic chicken stock, 2 cups of water, and then what you do is you 4 hours on low, okay? That's all part of getting it ready ahead of time. Then what you do is you get a plastic bag, and I'm going to put in, where's my flour? Here we are. That's the long one. Now I like to have a really nice thick, so I'm going to put a couple of heaping tablespoons. I'm going to put a teaspoon and a half of the Madras curry, as the average person. Okay. I'm going to shake that up or stir that up to mix it up. As you can tell, I'm a quick and easy chef. I want it just done. And something I prepared a little bit earlier. I'll use tongs for this, just so I don't have to wash my hands all the time. So some chicken pieces, about a pound, 500 grams. For those of you in Australia, a little more, I think. So, and the Australian way, they like to add a few more things in there than just the basics here. To marinate, or sorry, to coat until you need it again. All right, so you can do that right at the very beginning of your prep, and all your prep work is done. Do is just simply fry it off. All right, just get it nice and brown, and then pop it into the slow cooker. And that's what we have going here. Now you want to pop it into the slow cooker for about an hour. I hope you guys can have smell-o-vision there because Kylie Elms, this is amazing. All right. I know that and Sue Walsh, you guys are hoping. And you can see it's just in that softening stage. And there's the chicken. Now what I've also done is I've thrown a cup of rice in there. Now what I'll do at the very end of the mulligatawny soup, when it's 100% ready, I'm going to throw a can of coconut milk in there. Sorry, about an hour with the coconut milk, and then it will thicken and be a lovely soup. And of course we've got, all right. Here, you want to look at this while I get everything else ready? How gorgeous that is. All right, the fun of doing a demo yourself. Okay, where are my directors when I need them, okay? All right, the next pack that's 25% off is the fajita spice, the mulling spice, and the pumpkin pie. That's 25% off. Hostesses get an additional 50% off. And if you're thinking of joining Your Inspiration at Home today, you probably want to take advantage of this. You get it. That's one of our favorite things to do at the mega demos is give you that extra free product. You may have that product in your kit, so it's a great hostess gift. It's a great time to join. All right, the next one, a risotto. Beautiful. Let's come and look what the finished product looks like. What I've used, though, is not your typical arborio rice. I've used farro. And what farro is another ancient grain. It's a Middle Eastern grain, but what it is it's softer, and it's used widely in Italy. This is, in fact, an Italian pearled farro. Used widely in Italy. So it's, as you can see, it's a grain. Looks like wheat. All right. But it's very soft like arborio rice, which is absolutely fantastic for soaking in the flavors, soaking up the chicken stock. So risotto. All right. Now we're going to do shrimp and tomato risotto. One of my favorite new tools. A can opener that I could use. Now those of you at boot camp, I'm not sure whatever it is, you'll be very proud of my new skills of the can. So this is a fun can opener to use. Go like this, and you just lift it up. All right, so we're going to use a recipe online. So I'm doing a half recipe because I am doing a small slow cooker. If you're going to do this one, a full recipe, you use it the same as this one of 4 to. And then I've already pre-sliced some leeks and some fennel. So let me just grab those. Okay, pre-done leeks and fennel going in there. Do the work ahead of time. All right. Now, 2 cups farro rinsed. That's what this is. So I've already rinsed it. The reason you rinse it really is in case there's any husks on the outside remaining. So that's really just, they'll float to the surface and you just drain it. So I'm just going to dump that in there. Your normal arborio rice. All right. Then into that goes whole amount. Actually, no, I am. Sorry. I am doing the full amount of this one. Is 1.5 cups of the chicken stock. Okay. There we go. Again, for those famous boot camp attendees, watch the skills on this fabulous, and I will say it, Tupperware as well. There you go. Great product that even I can use. All right. And then, similar a little earlier, a couple tables of tomato paste, tablespoons there. And then you want to just stir that in. You don't want to stir this. You just want to break up that tomato paste. And you're wondering, what YIAH product am I putting in here? Well, I have a choice. My things that I would recommend would be capsicum pesto, which is the one I've done. You could use herb and garlic, would be beautiful, or our risotto blend. So where's my capsicum? There it is, behind my drink. That's a cue. All right. And I'll put a couple of tablespoons, heaping tablespoons. Now, Tuscan capsicum pesto, onion, garlic, oregano, basil. Is that oregano? I can't remember now. Basil in Australia. All right, just give that a stir. Now I'm going to pop that into the slow cooker, and I'm going to cook that on high for 2 hours. And one of the things, because it is a risotto style, you want to stir that every 30 minutes just to make sure absorbed. Okay, on high for 2 hours. Oh, one thing I forgot to do on that is put steaming. You want to keep all that moisture in there, because you'll notice there's quite a bit of moisture lost in that at the end of the paper towel. Usually I had one prepared earlier, but it's gone. So you just want to put some paper towel on the top there to keep that moisture in. So there we go. Okay, well, we're finished with that one. So now we're going to go. I got a half an hour. I could keep on track. Although this one I have been dying to take out of the slow cooker. I cannot wait. I'm hearing all this mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, and Steve is going to have a look at this. This is a, all right, so it's a Chinese style, Asian style pulled pork. Oh, did the steam go all over it? Motioning to me, it's got all steamy. All right, it's all good now. Okay, let me unplug this. That's always the key thing. Now, this has been cooking. Maybe, oh, I unplugged the wrong. Things that you do for TV that you normally wouldn't do yourself. All right, heavy. Bring it over here. Oh, the smell is gorgeous. Now, I have used Mongolian on this one. So this is a gorgeous Mongolian style, Asian style pulled pork. Let me just get my recipe here. So it's a pork roast. Now I've used soy sauce. I use Bragg's Aminos. Those of you who are in the US may know what I'm talking about. It's a non-gluten. It's not quite, it tastes like soy, but it's actually a little bit better for you. So I've used Bragg's Aminos or soy sauce, a light, low sodium soy sauce. I've used hoisin sauce. I found a gluten-free hoisin sauce, which was fantastic. Okay, the oil as well, which is fantastic. Ketchup, I didn't use. I used tomato paste. I found that with the sweetness, I used honey instead. So I found some raw, unfiltered honey from Florida, about 3 tablespoons of that one in there. And then I've used the toasted sesame as well. So that all just goes, you just mix it in a bowl, a separate bowl, just whisk it up, and you create your wonderful sauce. Then what you do is you marinate it. I used a large freezer bag put it all in together and marinate it. But the secret ingredient, wherever it is, five spice. What I would do there is add garlic if you're only using the Chinese spice. But this has beautiful herbs in it. So then what you do is, I'm going to get my pan. Now it just falls off the bone, so I don't want the bone for this. I do want the meat. So you notice I have two forks with this. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? You know, I forgot to eat earlier. And my stomach is going to growl the entire time. Now, I want to make a little bit of sauce with this, so you can thicken it if you want. What I've done is, let me think, chicken stock. So I've added some chicken stock, so I've got a lovely broth as well. So I'm going to scoop a little bit of this broth right on here, because you just don't want dry pulled pork. All right, let me get this out of the way. I'll run to this counter here. And what you do, let's hope this works, but it's very much like what you do for chicken, if you're, duck, if you're doing Peking duck, but you're doing pork instead. So you're just going to pull it apart with two forks. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh my goodness, I don't think I can stand this. I hope that you're all starving and at home right now and looking at this going, wow, I can't wait to get this recipe. All right, so that's it. That's how you do a pulled pork, Mongolian or Asian style, whichever of the two that you want to do. How gorgeous is that? Okay, now let's see if I'm going to burn my mouth to taste it. The sweetness of that honey with the Mongolian dip mix. What a hit, what a hit. Something a little different. Yum. All right, I'm going to put this over on our table. We are going to eat well tonight. And our dip mix. All right. I hope you all enjoyed that. Oh, I think you caught me having another drink. What are we going to do next? Let's do the jambalaya. Jambalaya is something that I have been eating and enjoying for years. When I was a national track athlete for Canada, I threw javelin. One of the things that our coach used to do is just give us a recipe book designed for athletes and said, here you go, if you're going to train this long, you need to be eating healthy, natural, without the sugars, the salts, the white flours, nothing in a box. We had to cook right from scratch. One of the first spice blends I'd ever made in my life was a Louisiana Creole spice, which is the inspiration for our Louisiana Creole spice. Now ours has a lot more ingredients in there because I've gotten more lazy in my cooking, and I wanted to include more of those ingredients of the recipe. So Louisiana jambalayas is one of my favorite things. Very, very healthy for athletes. Well, for everyone, but that was my grounding in that. All right, so we're just going to move over here, and I'm going to talk about it. Let's have a look at this. One of the things when you're doing slow cooking, I know it's so hard because if you're cooking over the stove, you get to lift the lid. Oh, wrong one. There we go. That's going to be sad. I'm just telling you what you should not do, and I've just done it. There we go. is lifting the lid too many times. You lift the lid once, and that creates an extra half-hour cooking time. So you really don't want to be lifting the lids on your meals when you're using the slow cooker. You just got to trust it and let it go. So again, I'm lazy. A lot of jambalayas are going to tell you to pre-cook the rice or buy instant rice or all of that. You know what? As an athlete, I don't want to stand around and cook like that, so I created some ways to make it much easier. So this one is you take your canned tomatoes, really easy, throw those in. Some celery, you got to have celery in it. And you can put some peppers. I don't like green peppers, so it's just very few things I don't really care for, and green peppers is one, so I've used yellow peppers. And then some chicken, and just you can if you want to quickly pan fry that, get it a nice brown, golden brown, and then put it in there. Onions, or you don't need to put the onions in as well because the Louisiana Creole has the onions in already. Again, everything is just toss it in once you've not cooked the chicken, just browned it. Toss it in the slow cooker with some prawns and a couple of tablespoons of the Louisiana Creole. And that is really how easy it is. Now, I've also put some sausage in there. You can use whatever type of spicy sausage that you'd like. I've used a turkey kielbasa, but you can use andouille or you can use Australia. I think that's an easy one for people to find there. So that is it. It is so great the next day. One of my favorite quick and easy one-pot meals. Remember, one-pot meals is really important, when you're busy. And I'm really busy. So that is a jambalaya. Really takes nothing at all to prepare. You're just going to cut up your vegetables, throw everything in one pot, and walk away. Now, I've cooked that one at, I think it's, you can do it. What I found is that when I'm doing the slow cooking, you can, if you really want to do it fast, you can put it on high and cut your time by half. Or if you want that really lovely slow cook like you saw with the pork roast, and it falls right off the bone, that's a long cook at low temperature. That was about almost 8 hours there to cook that one. So with the jambalaya, I've often done it on the pot when I'm very hungry and want something right away. If I plan ahead, it's about 4 hours in the slow cooker. And again, you're going to get the recipes and exactly what to do, when to do it on the website. 15 minutes. How many have we done? All right. The next one, that's the one I opened. Let's go right to that one because that is fantastic. The word tagine scares people. People, get this, oh, I can't do a tagine because I don't have a tagine. Tagine is only the style of cooking. The pot has been named after the style of cooking. I just need to, hang on. I forgot to bring my spoon. We'll use this. The pot has been named after the style of cooking, but which is the conical pot there. But you can easily do it in a slow cooker. A little inconvenient here. So all this is diced lamb and some chunks of, roughly chopped onion. Okay. The Moroccan Marrakesh, look at that bubbling away, and it is done, so I'm going to turn that off. And again, that is an 8 hour. Now what I did to make it really quick is I put it on 4 hours at high and then 2 hours at low. So it is just absolutely beautiful and tender. So I'll tell you a little bit about how to cook that because it is, it is so complex. Okay, that's my sarcasm for tonight. It really is just dice the lamb. Use one of these instead of, I think that one probably has about 12 different spices in it. And let me just find, oh, and what I did is I added apricots. I love a little bit of sweetness in there. Now these are wild apricots grown by small farmers, so that's really cool. And of course they're unsulfured, as those of you who know me, I don't do sulfured anything, so this is what an unsulfured apricot looks like. So I throw those in some chicken stock as well, or you could use beef stock if you want, either one. And that's it. That's how easy it is. And I was being very sarcastic about how to prepare it, but it is simply just throwing it all in there together. Let the slow cooker work it. I did grate some lemon because with Middle Eastern food, they have that lovely little lemon zest in there. Or you'll know that baharat is one of our other favorite Middle Eastern spices, and it is great because it has the lemon lumi, which is Persian black lime already in it, so it gives you that really tart flavor. So you could use baharat, you could use a Moroccan couscous blend, or Arabic, or the Moroccan Marrakesh. Now, of course, to serve that, you would put it on a bed of couscous. You could use the pearl couscous, or you could use the more French style little beaded couscous as well. All right, so favorite with all of those aromatics going through the house. So can't wait. I don't know which one I'm going to have tonight. All right, how many more? We have 12 minutes. Let's see what else we can get through here. How about we go to the Caribbean? All right. Now we have done, let's come on over here and you can see the Caribbean. Now this can be done with pork. I've done this one with chicken. And basically it's almost a little curry. Very mild, not too hot. I've used our Bridgetown grill and peppers. So I've used red peppers, green onions or spring onions, chunks of chicken. Now what's an unusual ingredient in this one is peanut butter. Now I use a dry peanut butter, but you can use a regular peanut butter as well, and just blend it all in. Again, nothing too dramatic here. What I did do, of course, was brown off the chicken. Brown off the chicken there, and with some olive oil, throw in the bell peppers, green onions, and I added some hoisin sauce and some soy sauce as well to go with the peanut butter. So what other product could you use really well with this one? And that's our Thai satay. So if you wanted to create the same ingredients, but all you wanted to do is substitute to make a Thai, this is how quick and easy it is with your inspiration at home. Same ingredients, and the only substitution is instead of a more Mexican or plain olive oil or oil to fry off and brown the chicken, is substitute with our Thai oil, brown the chicken there, the peanut butter, the hoisin sauce, the soy sauce, and then add the Thai satay, and then put it in the crock pot there, and it is beautiful. So with grill rub, okay, so you don't want to add any more salt. This is quite salty. You would salt to taste if you were using the Thai. Okay, so a very basic rub Thai, whichever one you're feeling like at the moment. And of course, serving on a bed of rice. And if you're so inclined to make dirty rice, which is then you could serve it on that as well. All right, and I haven't tried it, and I'm thinking, I wonder how it will go with the jerk seasoning, but I would probably give that one a try as well. Rendang. All right, let me do the rendang. I think I have time to show this one, so I'm going to use the small crock pot here. Oh no, I'm going to use the big one. There it is, or medium size. This is the small one is 1.5 quart. This one is a 2.5 quart. So we should be able to do the rendang. Now, this one's off the top of my head, so I'm going to have to write down the recipe after I do it. So it is a beef rendang. Now I want to put this in the pot, in the pan, just to brown off a little bit. So I'm going to put it onto, you want to come over here, Stephen. Put a little oil in the pan. And I'm going to put it onto medium-high heat. Okay, so I've used a fairly fatty cut, which is what you want in a stew. Get the flavors through it. And some onion. Okay, didn't have the pan hot, so you have to bear with me here. So I'm just going to blend those together, and then I'm going to sprinkle the rendang on top. Now, if you want to, you can flour this as well. Easy to do. Just put some flour in there. So I'm just going to brown this up. And then what I'm doing is about 2 tablespoons of the rendang. Now, the rendang is interesting. A lot of people call it Malaysian rendang, but it actually was started, so the dish comes from Indonesia, but it is now a Sumatra and Malaysia favorite. So my favorite rendang was actually in Malaysia at Kuala Lumpur, and this is where this particular product was inspired from on my trip to Malaysia. So you're just going to brown this off. You're going to add some stock when it goes into the crock pot. Sorry, a little bit of stock, not too much. You can actually put it in the browning here. But the favorite ingredient, of course, is coconut milk. That goes in after you brown this off. So that'll take a couple of minutes here to do that. So I'm just going to turn this down because we're running out of time, and I just want to show you how easy that is. All right. Okay, come on over here. So then what you would do is just throw the coconut milk. You can use a cream or a light coconut milk, just really depends on how thick you want it to go. Stir that all in together, and then just put it in the crock pot, and I'll give you the time there. Now, you can also do this one on the stove, and of course the thing about a rendang is getting it nice and thick and coating the beef. And it's typically beef, but you can do chicken as well. All right, let's have a look at the rendang. Actually, no, you know what? We've only got time now to do our dessert, so I'm going to get through them all. So I'm going to talk about these. Now, I didn't, desserts have never been my thing in a crock pot, but what I love is rice pudding. Now, this is a rice pudding, but it's rum raisin with pumpkin pie spice, and it is not your typical rice that you would use in a rice pudding. Instead of long grain white rice, I've used arborio rice, so it is nice and thick and absolutely gorgeous there. All right. The other thing that I've done, which is really fun, is I've done a tiramisu bread pudding. Now I will top this with mascarpone cheese, whipped with creme fraiche, and you put your favorite chocolate powder on that. So I'm going to use chocolate burgundy. The orange would be gorgeous on this one as well. Now for the tiramisu part, what I did was I made a sugar base with instead of the normal, they always say use the what's the word, fake coffee? Instant coffee. I'm so not an instant coffee drinker. But I made Turkish coffee today, and so, which is lovely, thick coffee. So I've done Turkish coffee on the stove with our Turkish coffee blend, and instead of using the granulated coffee. So I used probably about a 1/3 cup sugar, and topped it up with our vanilla sugar. Okay. And then the coffee, and that forms the base of this. Now I've done, you can use cream or coconut cream. Even in the drink that I made earlier, I did one version with cream and the butter and the sugar, and one version with coconut cream, the butter and the sugar, because I'm somebody who doesn't eat a lot of dairy, so that is a great alternative. There. Then I made little baguettes. Well, I didn't make them. I cooked them, baked them. There, just slice them up, but you can use French bread cut into 1-inch cubes. Then mix those in all together in a bowl, like gently, because you don't want to mash the bread. Toss it into your crock pot and cook that for a couple of hours, and it really steams that bread nice and soft. And then, of course, you top it with the chocolate, whichever your favorite chocolate is. There. So I think I have covered all of them. Have I? Did I miss anything? Well, you wouldn't know. I think I got them all. So 1 minute to spare. I would have loved to have shown you each and every one. But of course, we're out of time. You've had a chance to see and hear about them. And again, our specials, let me go through those. And I'm going to get a chance to eat them all tonight. So the special number 1 was the Louisiana Creole Dip Mix, the Indonesian Rendang, the Capsicum Pesto, all at 25% off for that pack. The second pack, the Fajita Spice Blend, the Mulling Spice, which was in that fabulous drink, and the pumpkin pie spice, which was in the rum raisin rice pudding. Then we have the Mongolian dip mix in pack number 3, the Marrakesh Bazaar, and the vanilla sugar. Take advantage of the 25% discount, but you also get the 50% off as your host only special. For those of you joining, take advantage of the great business kit and the executive kit and get one of those packs for free. Well, thank you everyone, and watch for this. And for guests, your consultant will be happy to email them. They will be posted on our web pages and Facebook as well. So bye everyone. Have a great rest of your day or evening wherever you are. Bye for now.